Hello and welcome back to Study with Additti. My name is Additti and this channel is dedicated to revision tips and tricks along with much more to help make your schooling life a whole lot easier. In my last video, in other words part 1 of this mini series I'm doing, I talked about 10 New Year's resolutions for students, and this is now part 2, how to actually keep those good resolutions. So let's get started. You want to be really clear and specific about your goals, because if they're vague then you're not really going to have any depth to them, and if you're not going to have depth to your goals then you're not going to achieve them in the end. The next thing you want to be doing is planning out your resolution in small steps along the year. So for example, if you get a wall calendar, as you can see behind me, that way you can visually see your entire year. You can put your small steps onto that calendar and they'll remind you of the steps that you actually need to take. Some people like to divide their year up into quadrants. That's also something you can try. So each quadrant would be 3 months in this case, and so we'd be in the first quadrant. And what they do is put their first steps into their first quadrant, second steps into their second quadrant, and so on. That way along the year you can visually see that you have 3 months to complete these steps and then 3 months to complete these steps and so on. I think that's really good as well. Some people might not like it because it involves deadlines of 3 months. 3 months might be too long for you, might be too short for you. I don't know, it really depends on you and your lifestyle. Bear these factors in mind if you're really seriously trying to keep your New Year's resolutions. A benefit to having these smaller steps is that you're going to be experiencing more frequent bursts of accomplishment, and apparently a study shows that if you experience accomplishment more frequently, that's better than long-term accomplishment. So to be honest, these smaller steps are really good to keeping your New Year's resolutions. This tip relates to the last one, but what it is you should be blocking out time for completing your steps. If you plan your day to the hour, then try and put in time for your resolution. So for example, if you wanted to go to the gym more, let's say, try and block out time for going to the gym as often as you want to go. That'll be really good, because that way you know you can't schedule anything else in there, and that means you can't double book yourself, which is really good. And that way again you can visually see when you need to complete your steps. Another thing you should definitely be doing is tracking your progress. This is absolutely essential in keeping your New Year's resolutions. By doing this you can see how much you're improving, and that's absolutely essential. If you have a bullet journal, then what I'd recommend that you do is do like a year in pixels. If you don't already know what a year in pixels is, it's where you draw a box for each day of the year and you colour code that box depending on how your day went. And for this case, in terms of your resolution. So say for example, your resolution was to sleep more as a student, going back to the one we talked about earlier. In this case, you'd have a colour code on the side saying, I don't know, 5 hours green, 6 hours yellow, 7 hours pink, and 8 hours plus red. So say last night I got 8 hours plus sleep. That would mean in yesterday's box I would colour it in red, because the red corresponds with 8 hours plus sleep. It's basically a colour code. That way, over the course of the year, you can really see if you're improving or if you're not improving, and that way you can implement change really, really quickly. And at the end of the year, 31st of December, you can see if you've actually completed your resolution or if you haven't. And I think that's a really good way of tracking your progress. If you have more than one resolution, which you should do, but not too many because that is detrimental, then you can do a year in pixels for each resolution. I think that's really, really helpful, because again, as I said before, you can literally visually see how your year's going in terms of that particular resolution. This tip to help you keep your resolution is quite popular, and it has good reason to be. Basically, what you should do is try and find a buddy or a partner that will help you with your resolution. If you can't find a friend or a buddy, don't worry. While having one is good, it doesn't matter if you don't. Firstly, if you build up enough self-discipline by yourself, you'll have all the motivation you need. If you still think you need someone there, then try and ask family or other friends just to urge you to take those smaller steps that you planned. That way you'll still be getting closer and closer to your goal. This next tip I actually saw from another YouTuber. What she recommended was you should start filling your feed with people that do the things that you want to be doing as part of your New Year's resolution. So for example, if you want to run more, then follow runners. If you want to be dancing more, follow dancers. If you want to learn to sing, then follow singers. Anything that helps you remember your goals. If you don't have a social media platform like Instagram, then try and print out pictures or something and put them around your room. If you don't have a social media platform like Instagram where you can follow and scroll down through your feed, then try to subscribe to people that, again, do things that you want to be doing as part of your resolution. If you can't do that, then try and print pictures and put them around your room. So for example, if you want to learn how to play the piano, put a picture of a piano somewhere in your room. That way, whenever you look at it, you're always going to be reminded that you have this goal and you want to strive towards it. To be honest, that can work with any goal really. If you put the corresponding pictures around your room, you're going to be reminded to take action for that goal. This final tip, but definitely the most important one, is to not beat yourself up about not sticking to a resolution. Instead of feeling really guilty about not sticking to it, try and perhaps reevaluate that goal. Maybe there's something about the goal that you initially set that made it so that you couldn't achieve it in the first place. If you know you don't need to reevaluate it and you know it was your own fault and it was something of your own doing, then move past it. It was just a bump in the road. Trying again is honestly the best thing you can do in these situations. That's all I have to say for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you took something away from this video. I hope you try and carry on with those New Year's resolutions. And as I just said, if you encounter a bump in the road, move on, try again, forget about it. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon while you're at it. If you liked this mini series, smash the like button. Thank you for watching and goodbye!